Customization, transparency, profit. The HedgeBetter sports betting platform is a revolutionary concept that creates a competitive advantage for every party involved in the sports betting process. We are putting the odds in your hands, cutting out the middleman, and empowering a future generation of sports bettors. Look for the HedgeBetter sports betting platform coming in 2023. In the meantime, visit us at www.hedgebetter.com, follow us on Instagram at HedgeBetter, and subscribe to the HedgeBetter YouTube channel.
Hey, long days at work, I grab my shirt, my bag, we sent out the front line. Frustrations in my head just play so whack, but it's no one's fault but mine. Long drive home, here we go, I play Scramble pod through the radio. Cold bears with the boys, hello, those links are my only home, go.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, it's been a nice few weeks you haven't had to listen to us idiots, but we're fucking back, okay? And so is Tony Finau, so is Sung JM, and Thomas the Tank Engine Kim. He's here to stay, okay? This is episode 47 of the Scramble podcast presented by HedgeBetter. As always, it's Andy here. I am joined by my two esteemed colleagues, Timothy and Steven. Hello.
Hello.
Guys, it's been nice. 2 weeks off was good. But we got another two or three here to grind out, and then we take another break, and then it's President's Cup time. Okay? I'm not going to pretend like I'm as excited for the President's Cup as I am for a Ryder Cup, but it's team golf. So you know what? That'll get me out of bed.
Yeah.
We, this week, sort of a ragtag operation. Look, I write a lot of shit. We talk about a lot of shit. And this week, it's just going to be fire from the hip. What did you bring with you today? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We missed 3M in the Rocket Mortgage. And if Cam Ricciardi was here, our dear friend Cam, he would be elated. Tony Finau goes back to back.
Belly to belly.
Belly to belly to win both of them. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Going into the playoffs, too. Something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, you saw like all over Twitter, it was like the floodgates are open for Tony Finau. Like,
yep.
His whole knock is he can't win. He just won 2 in a row. Like down the stretch.
And coming from behind.
Right.
Yeah, he shot 7 under that Sunday. To
Oh,
win, right?
yeah. So the golf subpar guys say, Tony Finau, where he be now? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm taking from it exactly as you guys are basically alluding to, it's like the guy needed to learn one thing, how to win. He learned how to do it.
Uh-oh.
He hits absolute bombs. He's just such a smooth swing.
But like control.
He can putt.
Yeah.
It's like there's not many parts of this guy's game that when he's on where he's not a top 5 player in the world. The only thing I feel like it was just mentally holding him back, like me when I stepped to the first tee with the driver. On the range, BBs. First tee, topped it.
Yeah.
And that Tony Finau, he's just...
Tony Floodgates.
Oh, my God.
It's not top 10 Tony anymore.
No.
It's Tony fucking Raging River Tony.
Yeah.
Okay?
This could get very ugly for the rest of the...
And you know what? It couldn't have happened to a better guy. Name a better dude.
He was rated number 1 nicest guy on tour by Golf Digest.
Oh, I did see that, actually.
They did like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Spieth was 3rd.
It's Jordan Spieth, 3rd best guy on tour. I knew he was a good guy.
Good guy.
Yeah. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm actually so happy. All the interviews after when he's like, all my years on tour, all it did was teach me how not to give up and how to just keep fucking going. And eventually it paid off. I mean, all the videos too afterwards, partying with his just insanely large family.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love it.
Did you see his wife posted that video of him dancing by the pool?
And then dropped her phone in?
Yeah. Hey, she can afford a new one now.
Hey, not only can he hit like a 330-yard cut drive, he can also dance.
Yeah, those hips don't lie.
No. He's pretty good at it. I mean, it's just, it can't happen to a better guy. Sunday, though, at the 3M, on 17, he almost did blow it. Puts his tee shot on that par 3 into the stands, which then juts back past the hole and is about to fall in the water. I think he had like a 1.5 feet until it went in the water.
Yeah.
That was really good for me. You guys all got away with one because we didn't do Survivor that week, but he was my Survivor pick. So, and then the following week at the Rocket Mortgage, I had Taylor Pendrith, who was leading after 54 holes, so he got away with one there. I'm not holding back. I'm getting good at their survivor thing. Okay.
Not bad.
But Taylor Pendrith, sick ball striker, massive human being. I think he could be a good staple here if he can just figure out some short game stuff. But like, isn't that, that's everybody's bugaboo that really hits bombs. Don't know if you guys have any more stuff on those two tournaments. Then we can talk about Thomas the Tank Engine.
I'm good.
Yeah. Just two, honestly, three. It's tough to say because I'm so happy for Tony, but like, it's just three filler tournaments to get me to the playoffs, really.
It's wedding season.
Yeah.
People started to pay attention to NFL camps.
Yep.
So it's a little bit of a lost time, but playoffs are coming.
Yep.
That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And before I transition back to you, I just wanted to say, you said it's Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
Are we sure it's not Thomas the Wagon?
Yeah.
Because
This guy.
That guy can hit the ball.
He's no joke.
As first
Yeah, actually,
to us by Tim.
please credit.
Do you want to just take a
Yeah.
moment for a victory lap?
Whip out
here?
your balls on the
Yeah.
camera.
Do you want to? Yeah. It's all you, Timmy.
Not really. I don't even get a chance to bet him. I took him at St. Andrews, where that was his worst result in like 6 months. But no, I mean, like Steve kind of alluded to, his swing is like, that's got to be already my favorite swing on tour. It's so smooth. And he quadruple bogeyed the first hole and then went on to win a tournament. It's only happened 5 other times since World War II.
So he was 29-1 at the beginning of the week. He quadruple bogeyed and went to 120-1 on that second hole. 120.
Yep.
That's
Imagine hitting that live.
just
The people are worried about the Mega Millions.
yeah, no.
Like, this is an easy way to get
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
Just bet Tom Kim.
Yeah. Dude. And I also love he's so young. You do hope that this holds up and this isn't just like a young guy gets a little bit hot and then we never hear from him. I would like him to be a staple because he seems like a good, young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty well spoken for being, what is he, 21?
Mhm.
20?
Yeah.
And I'm all in on this kid, I think. He's smiling out there, he's laughing, he's having a good time. Good for golf, I guess. The thing I did see though is a lot of the writers are saying he's the next Sung Jae. He's the new guy.
I think he's might already be better.
He might be better than him. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think of Sanjay as like mid-range guy, shows up and will, like top 15, a couple of important tournaments, maybe win one.
He's won too.
Yeah, but like I feel like Sanjay is just like good, not great.
So that's
I
perfect
feel like
segue.
I feel like this kid has the potential to be great.
I know. So keep an eye on him, guys. Sung Jae, though, he's in good form right now. That puts him top 10 Comcast business class, top 10. And I'd say he had a quietly good year. I wasn't throwing a lot of money around on him, to be honest.
No, problem was he's a Florida stretch guy and he didn't play well there this year.
Yeah, fuck. I know he's like a sawgrass.
So I think that gave people like a bad taste for his year, but he actually played all right.
Yeah. Rookie Max McGreevy plays his way in. Really cool story there. First year on tour, gets in at like 122, something like that, 120. We lost Tim.
Uh-oh.
Tim?
Oh, my video.
Yep.
Leave it in.
Terrell Hatton had a good week. Russell Henley, that rat bastard, he had another decent week. And then there's two things we got to talk about before we get into the who's in, who's out. Will Zalatoris fired his caddy in the middle of the week.
Crazy move.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
Like that.
What's worse, switching putters in the middle of a tournament or firing your caddy?
I don't know, because I feel like if you're switching your putter,
You're lost.
you have no confidence. At least with the caddy, it's just like, you might have that confidence of like, I'm right, you're wrong, fuck you. I'll do this myself. Like, I feel like you can kind of justify that in your brain. If
Yeah.
you're switching putters, you're in a tornado and there's no way out.
Here's what must have happened that it'll never come out. Obviously, he says, "Oh, it's the hardest decision I ever had to make. He's one of my best friends." Yada yada yada.
Best friend, fuck off midweek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you couldn't wait till today,
Yeah.
or perhaps in 2 weeks when the playoffs are over. It must have been, my speculation is that during maybe Wednesday it started, Thursday they disagreed like 8 times or something crazy. And then that made Willie Z go back to his hotel Airbnb and he's like, I can't fucking win with this guy. He's holding me back.
Yeah.
Something had to happen because a lot of guys change caddies, but it's always off season or it's always like, oh, the caddy's old, he's going to retire, but they have a guy they like anyways coming in. It's never like the only other instance I can think of is Bryson last year. Remember, we ripped on him. We said, bro, like,
Oh, I forgot about yeah.
yeah.
And if that's your barometer for whether or not you're having a normal one, as the kids, as the kids
as
like
Twitter
to say,
says.
yeah. So
Totally normal.
That's Willie Z. Bad luck. Bad luck.
I am weary now. I will not be placing any dollars on him for the next
DNB.
couple of weeks. That's a DNB for me.
Okay.
Unless he shoves it up our hoop and still plays well, because then it's like, well, do caddies really matter? For some people, no. But man, you couldn't wait. It was that bad, the argument. But you know what? Guy's a pro. He's going to win majors on this tour. I, in my opinion, he's going to be a staple here. He's 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a long career ahead of him. I'm sure this will be forgotten about in years, but goodness, like, just couldn't wait. So, Shane Lowry, we can talk about the Austin Smotherman thing here, Tim.
Yeah.
Describe that. You had it better. What happened?
So basically, the cut, there was a log jam. I think it was 1 under. And long story short, there was a rain delay. Smotherman, he has to pick up on Saturday morning on the 17th. He's got 12 feet for birdie. That birdie would have put him within the cut line, would have knocked others out.
Yep.
So ends up parring that hole and then double bogeys the 18th, which means Lowry and a bunch of other guys make the cut that they didn't think they were going to make. Also bumps Smotherman out of the top 125 on FedEx. Just brutal. A brutal break. But I mean, you got a birdie putt on 17 that you got to think over all fucking night long to make your first, I believe it is.
Yeah.
FedEx Cup playoffs. That's not easy.
So it was what? It was like 64 guys.
Yep.
Or 60 something guys when Smotherman just had to bogey 18, I think, right?
I think it was. Well, you might be right.
So
yeah, because
so
then double as well.
So then he doubled and then leapfrogged those next 17 guys, whatever it was.
I thought he needed a birdie,
or maybe he needed a birdie. Yeah, something like that. Where it, you know how they always do, it's 65 and ties. So like that just propelled 15 more guys. Like that's how Shane Lowry finished T83 after making the cut, which is like the highest I've seen. Because it's always this many in ties. So he thinks he misses the cut. It's Saturday. It's Friday? He finished Friday night before the delay. Gets on his PJ, and then all of a sudden I see on Instagram he's like on my way back, and he's putting up the thing from his flight, and it's like flight lands at 10:35, and his tee time on Saturday for round 3 is like 11:50.
Oh boy,
kind of funny. Also another Bryson reference. He's the only guy I remember doing that last year.
Yep.
Left too early. I'm sure maybe I'm being naive. Maybe it happens a lot more than we think.
I feel like it happens a lot, but a lot of guys will just at that point write it off.
And they're like, yeah,
fuck it,
I'm out.
but I mean, this is like week before playoffs. You have to turn that plane around.
Yeah, bro.
But if this is the John Deere Classic, do you care?
No. Yeah.
WD.
That'll do it, guys. The Wyndham. What a tournament. Go Tank Engine, go. So now it's a special time of year. So the other fun thing about the Wyndham, besides it being just like the most exciting tournament of the year, is that you get to watch the live FedEx. I was honestly having more fun watching the live FedEx Cup standings than I think I was the actual tournament. Ricky Fowler, 125, last guy in.
Skin of his teeth. This guy refuses to go away. He refuses to leave the zeitgeist
and he missed the
of
cut.
The world of professional golf.
He missed the last 2 cuts he was in.
Yeah.
And he gets in.
That guy's got a horseshoe somewhere in his body. Not going to speculate where.
To go right for him to make the 125 was crazy too.
Wild.
I read it somewhere.
I remember that. Like some sort of, I know we always just retire. I mean, now look, he's guaranteed if he makes it the next week to make another 200K. Like that's last place.
How are you?
Yep, thanks. I mean, the most dangerous man is someone with nothing to lose. And because he's in last place, he quite literally has nothing to lose. The only other thing is, if he doesn't play well this week, in danger of losing his card.
Mm.
Oh, no, I lied to you. He's in. 125. He's in.
I feel like he's got to keep his card at this
But
point, right?
there's some
if you're in the
stipulation,
playoff-
yeah, because his players win has now
Playoffs?
run up. That 20, when did he win the players? 2017?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That players win exemptions, that's up now.
Oh, boy.
Okay? We're playing with his own money now. He's betting with his own credit, all right?
Maybe that's the turnaround he needs.
Yeah.
You got to hold his feet to the fire.
I know. It's just like you watched. I don't even really watch Rick. I just follow like the tracker, the Ricky Fowler Legion. That guy's also delusional. I don't know if you guys follow that guy. He's like 5 feet for birdie, just missed. Can go 3 under on the next 2 holes to tie for the cut.
Yeah.
He's always so positive
Just
about
a hole in one
and it
on a
lets him
par
down.
4 away. That's all.
The funny thing about Rick is that he's going like OB off the tee, and then he's sticking his third to like 10 feet, missing the 10-footer and bogeying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he's hitting his drive in the fairway and then going long, having to chip back on, having a comebacker for
Two-putt,
par.
yeah.
Yep, 2-putt bogey.
Mhm.
So
That's literally like you just described my game to a T. And that's one of my on days, by the way.
but we're not professionals.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
It's incredible. Good for him. We'll see what happens with that. Webb Simpson gets in barely. I believe he was like 119, 118. Patton Kazire. Stu Sink gets in. Dougie Gim. The Glove, Lucas Glover, and Jason Day, some of the last big names that qualified. So they're all going to need huge, like top 10s, arguably, to get into the top 60 that move on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Last few out. Sad story. Austin Smotherman. Masters champion Danny Willett.
Still unbelievable.
I'm still so butthurt about that. Tim's guy, Cam Champ, doesn't make it.
R.I.P.
I know.
Just
What?
that's just outrageous.
Yeah.
I figured he was. I figured he was safe.
Did he play a ton of events? Like I feel like
I did not see his name on many leaderboards throughout
Yeah.
the entire year.
And then Harry Higgs the last few out. And now we can get into a really sad segment. I wish I could play that Sarah McLachlan song.
I will remember you.
Matt Wallace, he's a big name, but he already said he's playing Korn Ferry Tour Finals, which is if I'm a just missed guy and I play it.
Yeah.
Why not? I know it's another week. You probably played so much golf. I get it.
Fuck, you got to lose.
But if you can play
Your
it with
tour card?
if you can play big time golf next season, you play Korn Ferry Tour Finals. I think that's such a no brainer.
Yeah.
That was what Ricky did last year. Remember, he said no. He said no, I'm not playing in that. Didn't play final stage. Whatever. Danny Willett lost his card. His Masters exemption is up.
Go be a tour pro.
Let's go play DP tour events. You don't need whatever.
Yeah.
Harry Higgs. So we were all a little bit surprised by this, but apparently he only had 3 top 25s and he missed 17 cuts.
That is just. That's crazy.
Didn't you? It sort of felt like he was okay. Wasn't he in the lead at one of the majors at one point?
Yeah,
The
and he's just
PGA
always
in Kiowa,
on TV.
right? He was playing well.
He's so his presence is so like big on TV.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like see like a Harry Higgs huddle out. It's like huge deal.
Big
And like
personality,
he
yeah.
ripped his shirt off at 16. Like that was awesome.
Yeah.
Zach Johnson, Ryder Cup captain, lost his card. However, he's 14th on the money list all time, which I believe top 20 gets an exemption forever. So I think he still gets that. But also, like we were talking pre-show, he's going to get some sponsors invites to some of his favorite tournaments, I'll say. Rory Sabatini, he only had 1 top 25. See ya.
I've heard he's a good guy, right?
Yeah, just a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
The Seagull, Charlie Hoffman. That's what happens when you complain, buddy. Look what happens.
Consequences meet actions, or other way around.
It's funny how that works.
Actions meet consequences.
Funny how that works.
Dick.
Brant Snedeker, we were surprised by this one. Has 9 wins all time.
He's won at Harbor Town, so he's one of my guys now by default. So sad to see him go.
PGA champion. Oh no, I'm talking. And the next one, Jimmy Walker, PGA champion in 2016. That exemption is up. He was 190th this year, so that's a see ya, and that's not even a Korn Ferry final stage invite. That's like
He's like 40. What?
He's old, I think.
Let's see.
But like that's a lot of these guys. Like Charlie Hoffman finished like 180th. That's also not a Korn Ferry invite. Like, is this the time where these guys hang it up?
Jimmy Walker's 43.
43. That's actually not.
Pretty young.
That's not as old as I thought.
Yeah.
But like Roy Sabatini's really old. I'm sure he'll go. Like ZJ is also pretty. He must be mid-40s too. But we'll see. That'll pretty much do it, guys. It's sad. You don't want to see guys that we like, lose their cards. But if you can go play final stage, go do it. Otherwise, we're going to see some big names playing Corn Ferry Tour events next season. Which just only sucks because it's, like guys like our boy Jimmy Nicholas doesn't get to play because he's big guys. But whatever.
Yeah. That's the thing is like that. We need fresh blood.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Do we really need Danny Willett and Zach Johnson in tournaments anymore?
We don't need Danny Willett ever.
Yeah.
I'm good on him.
Yeah. Fair.
This week in golf, you guys, PGA responds to the Live lawsuit, says it's all false to catch you up. Live Golf is saying that the tour illegally told guys they can't go when they could. It's all semantics at this point. It's all this whole thing, investigation about whether PGA breached things. It's all going to be, he said this to me, and Liv's going to say, yeah, you said that. And they're going to say, no, we didn't. And I think absolutely nothing is going to get accomplished.
They're going to file this lawsuit in a jurisdiction that they know the judge, whichever circuit they're on,
Jay Monahan's neighbor.
No. It's going to be pro Live to start, and then Monahan's going to escalate this up the chain. They're eventually going to get it to another court that's going to throw it out. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
They're not going to find them.
But in the meantime, that's going to grant legitimacy to Live when they win that original suit.
Yeah.
You can just see this coming.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mile away.
And
I had no idea where you're going with that. So I'm going to say I had no idea where this was going.
no, but I mean, think about it. They're basically they're throwing out saying, it's basically like I opened up a rival pizza shop and you told people they couldn't eat my pizza, but they actually could. And then they're going to say, oh, yeah, you're right. They did tell people that. And then it's going to go higher and they're going to say, no, we said our pizza is just better. And then they're going to go, oh, okay, yeah. And that's the decision. There's nothing.
Yeah. And even still, it's like you're not.
At this point now, all this is doing is just like public slander.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
We're going to get to see Phil's financials disclosed.
I would love that.
Now that
By the way,
would be a FOIA request I would love to see.
I was on a little mini vacation to Martha's Vineyard this week, and I cracked into my Phil book by Alan Shipnuck. Oh boy, guys.
Wild.
This guy.
He's a douchebag.
Is a real piece of work.
Wow.
Very eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
I will say there are a lot of people that he interviewed for the book that did say awesome things. So it's like sort of wherever Phil kept you is how you thought about him.
Yeah, Shipnuck did say in interviews, it's like, there's going to be some things you read about him in this book where you're like, fire him into the sun.
Yep.
Because he's a piece of shit. And then there's going to be other things that you read where you're like, damn, good guy.
Yeah.
It's like, he's such a complicated person.
Like,
it's crazy.
It actually might have been Lucas Glover, one of the tour pros. His wife had just got diagnosed with cancer. And Phil knew one of the oncologists at MD Anderson, like personally, and said, I'm going to set you up to get the care from one of the best oncology hospitals in America. And it did happen. And she like ended up being fine. She beat it. So he's like, I have nothing bad to say. He did something so selfless for us that he didn't have to do. So I'm very conflicted. Yeah. There's a lot of different stories.
Who would have known that human beings are complex creatures? I personally thought you could just judge a book by its cover, but.
And he starts the book with a quote, and it was, throw the first punch, because Phil got in his face and said, if you have a problem with me, throw the first punch.
Okay. Psycho.
Also,
I think that Shipnuck guy's a loser, but it might just be.
See, I thought so too, Tim. And then you learn in the book that him and Phil like go to dinners. Their wives are friends. They're like buddies.
Apparently, Shipnuck like texted him like time and time again, looking for quotes and like, "Hey, I'm writing this. Like, I need you to verify, or I need you to give me your side." And Phil just like, he just basically ghosted him. Is what Shipnuck was saying.
No, Alan,
who knows the legitimacy? Or,
he writes that. He's like, hey, I'm very close with this. Amy. Also, everything in that book about Amy is just, she seems like an absolute sweetheart.
Okay,
she seems like a great person.
So, and that makes you think. It's like, okay, if she's a great person, she's got to have some sort of good judgment of character. So maybe there's something in Phil that she sees and loves, which makes her stick around. Could potentially be a couple $100 million. But
what?
Is it the money stuff that really seems like that's the bugaboo? Like, is that just driving everything else?
Money, and he is very concerned about his perception to others. Yeah. All he cares about is how other people think of him.
He's power hungry.
He's an egomaniac.
Yeah. And they, obviously the gambling thing is like, guys have told stories like they would play a practice round and Phil would just try to bet like an insane amount of money on things. And guys would be like, whoa, dude, relax.
I'd love to see his records from his bookie just for like 1 week. Like Tuesday night, 50K on the Seattle Storm.
There's a story in this. And this is the last thing I'll say, we'll move on. There's a story in this book. I won't say the tournament that he's playing, and he didn't think he made the cut, so he made an absurd amount of AFC championship bets on the Baltimore Ravens. I'm sure you could surmise what years when they were very good. He put like ungodly amounts of money.
This was the double pass to Amendola, wasn't it?
Something along those lines. And he had a secret earpiece in his ear and a radio in his back pocket where he listened to the thing because he had so many bets on it. He was playing in a Saturday or Sunday round in a tournament. His caddy was like, yeah, I couldn't bother him. He wouldn't talk to me all day. He was listening to football in his earpiece.
That's kind of awesome.
It's kind of, like, that's just the biggest degenerate gambler stuff.
It's just,
But like, bro, like his caddy's like, dude, we're like kind of in this tournament right now. Like you played well Saturday. Like, what do we do? What are we doing here?
Let's make a run at this back nine and like
it's
make
Bones.
ourselves some
It's
money.
sorry. Yeah, I was trying to think of who it was. It's Bones.
Yeah.
Unreal stuff. Anyways, the Nick Faldo tribute. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah. That was a tearjerker for sure.
Honestly, I got a little bit choked up.
If you didn't, you're a psycho.
He talks about I'm 65 and I've gained 3 brothers and they're all crying. How about Jim Nance like not crying? Is that guy just the best at everything? No, he's so professional.
Nah,
he like drove the whole thing.
He's the whole production of it, the whole video. If you go on the PGA Tour Instagram account, I think it's like 5-6 different swipes left to right, and it's each video like a minute long. So yeah, it's a couple of minutes long. It'll take some time out of your day, but well worth it. If you appreciate the game of golf, if you appreciate Sir Nick Faldo and what he's done for the game,
yeah,
it's a good watch, and it definitely drums up some feelings. Tim, did you have anything that you took from it?
Not really. I'm not a huge Nick Faldo guy.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. He seems to be obviously he's important to the game of golf, but I don't think he's like the best announcer.
No. He's a decent color guy.
Yeah.
He's notorious for like the why did he pull driver there call.
Yeah, like that stuff irks me beyond belief. So that's probably why
No, I'm with you. It's just, I think, and I also liked that during the whole thing, they just said in the next steps, they were all happy for him and no one like badmouthed the live. I thought that was a very good thing. And then another live thing, they announced that they're going to play way more events next year, which sort of shatters I'm so happy I'm playing live golf because I want to spend more time with my family and play less golf. So that's immediately out the window.
Yeah. But they at the flip side of that, they also got guaranteed money. Now,
I know.
So what's that contract look like now for P. Reed? Right?
They had to have known this was in the plan.
But do you have to now play XYZ amount of tournaments, or is it you get this guaranteed money to come over to us, but then you can pick and choose your tournaments? That's very interesting.
I'm guessing they're going to make them play more than 8 events.
Yeah.
So no matter what, it's going to be more. And also the way that they're pushing this like team thing, which is so stupid. They're trying to make the teams like franchises. Like we support you're a Steelers fan. They're trying to make you're a 4 Aces fan. Shut the fuck up. No one cares about the team thing.
Yeah. What did Pat Perez? He won like a couple $1 million because he just like
he's like
he probably shot like a 77 and came in like second to last place, but just because he's on DJ's team, he made a ton of money.
Dude, he's like 23 over in his last couple of events, and he still won a ton.
Love Pat Perez.
Me too, but like don't pretend like
you're
team
on the coattails, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got Ryder Cup feel out there. Shut up. All right. Lastly, Colin Morikawa's clubs were left unattended on a tarmac, and I think that speaks to our Stevie versus Shipsticks sort of thing.
Just logistics in general, between airlines, Shipsticks, everything, it's all horrible. How have we as a society, we have built a fucking telescope.
in a society.
We've built a telescope that can look like 20 million light years into the past of like
Of
got
light.
like trillions and trillions of miles away, and we can see clear as day the night sky, but we can't get golf clubs from one
14
destination to another
metal sticks.
without some fucking asshole making $20 an hour working some union job for TSA, just grabbing thousands of dollars of worth of heavy, expensive, customized equipment and just humming it in the middle, like onto like a 97-degree like tarmac.
His bag was
What is happening?
was in a case on the concrete in between a bunch of planes.
Yeah.
There's
I'm surprised they
trucks
didn't run over it
So I'm
with one
saying,
of those things.
Those things that pull the planes,
Yeah.
that they're buzzing around. He's like literally watching it through the window. I mean, I would have been having an absolute meltdown.
I would have tried to deboard the plane. Like I would have tried to get onto the tarp. Like, those are my children.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Imagine. Although the good news is it's not like TaylorMade doesn't know exactly what he has
Yeah,
and
I
they wouldn't
mean-
just make it again.
And they
But, like-
obviously have the truck right on.
But
He's
think-
a multi-millionaire, so he's probably like, whatever.
yeah.
yeah,
I guess
let's
you're
cry
right.
for the millionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Hey, I like Colin. Anyways, let's get into it this week. It's the playoffs. It's the WGC FedEx St. Jude. And I think we have some notes on this year's playoffs.
Yeah. Per Kyle Porter on Twitter, so just want to give credit where credit is due. The purse. This indicates that the Live
Yeah.
Tour has put the appropriate pressure where the pressure needed to be,
Uh-huh.
and now the Tour is responding in kind. They got to pay their guys. They got to let these guys know, you know what? If you go through this grind of 30, 25, 30, 35 tournaments, if you make it to the playoffs, you got to be rewarded with some fucking cash.
Some
Cashola.
cash.
$75 million is the total purse from this year. That's a $15 million increase from last year to this year. $18 million to first place. How are you?
How we doing?
Otherwise known as the entire career earnings of Brad Faxon. It's okay for me to take a shot at him because that dickhead like completely ruined Donald Ross Treasure in Providence, Rhode Island, where I'm from. So it's like, if you're going to turn that into a condo association, I'm going to take some shots at you. Go fuck yourself, Brad. Anyway, the top 7 all get $2 million plus. The top 10 get at least $1 million plus. Anybody who makes the Tour Championship guaranteed $500,000. Anyone who makes the BMW, which is the next round,
Yep.
175 guaranteed. So they're throwing money out there. They're letting these guys know, make it to the playoffs, just be that top 60, make it to the BMW. Your expenses for the year are paid effectively, So, hey, good for these guys. They do grind. They do deserve this money. I mean, so this is in a direct response of market forces at play, which I think was the net positive we were all looking for from the Live saga.
Yes.
This is the good fruit that it's bearing. There's obviously still some ugly fruit, but at the very least, hey, we're going to see bigger paychecks. That means it's going to be more intense. There's going to be guys trying so much harder. I think it's good for golf, all things considered. What do you guys think?
Tim. My God, he can't even hear us. Tim,
He died.
you dead?
Hear me?
Yeah, no, there we go. I still
Hello?
can't see you, by the way. Yeah, I can hear you.
What do you? Oh yeah, I have the screen above like I don't know how to describe this.
Yeah.
Like I can see I'm not on the TV, but I can see myself in the box.
Is your camera on?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Anyways, keep going.
All right, wait. Now I lost train of thought.
No, we were just
This
talking
is
about.
really good podcasting.
This is good. This is good audio.
What was the question again?
Just talking about just the more money now that the players get for this, pretty much as a direct result of
Yeah.
the Live pressure. Yeah.
So I was going to, because this week I thought a lot about like how the playoffs for golf, it's like in any sport that should be like the penultimate event, right? Like the one that gets the most hype. And because golf has the majors, we don't get that. So I was thinking they should just throw an obscene amount of money at the FedEx Cup, but I mean, that's a pretty decent amount of money. I'd say 18 million for first place is good, but like how I don't know. How do you make the playoffs more interesting? You get what I mean?
Yeah, match play.
I don't think it's match play. I think you almost need to condense. Like, I think 125 is too many.
Oh, do you want to go right to
You
60?
can have 125, keep their card, but
Maybe
like-
75.
75.
yeah.
And then you cut down to 50, and then I don't know. I think.
Well, I don't know. Like,
do
do you make it seeded? Nah, I mean, maybe the
Maybe
last.
you integrate the majors more heavily in like the playoffs.
Like maybe the playoff standings at the end of the year is solely based on majors.
Yeah.
I don't know if it should be
It's
solely
just
based on majors.
But mostly.
Definitely a heavy weight to it.
But then that's the other thing. Will Zalatoris doesn't have a win, but played unreal in all those. But like Sam Burns has 3 wins this year. Like he technically should be better, but he didn't play as good as Will Zally.
And I know they give out different points, obviously, for the strength of the field, but like
Yeah.
guys who are just grinding out really good finishes at like the Barracuda and shit like that. It's like, are you really one of the top 125 golfers on the tour?
I don't know.
Placing well in shitty turn. I don't know. It's
You're
just
right.
such a unique like system because it's golf is so different.
Yeah, I mean, John Rahm famously says like the playoffs are flawed.
Yeah.
He's like the system that's in place is not good. Like there should be a heavy reward for being in the top 10, not just 2 strokes on the field.
I think the stroke thing is crazy,
Yeah.
but like I don't have a good alternative to that. So I don't know. I don't know. I just think the playoffs. I think that they could a good rebuttal to this whole live thing would be to somehow figure out a better regular season and playoff format.
Yeah. Like maybe the playoffs is just that top 30 and they play 3
Like, are
weeks
you
in a
even
row.
remotely
I'd be
as
okay with
excited
that.
for this as you were for any of the majors?
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
I mean,
that's
I'll
what
get up.
happened.
I'll get up for Eastlake because it's an awesome course and it's the top 30 finally. But like this week and next week, like all I'm looking for is for some Cinderella, like last year at Van Rooyen. Like I'm just looking for some big story because I know the guys in the top 20 right now, as long as they don't, like they're gonna make next week. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I'm only worried about right now the guys that are 60 to 120.
I like that exclusivity point that you made. If you just take those top 30 guys, be like,
So after the Wyndham,
because if you only have to make the top 125, you're going to take more tournaments off. If you're right on the cut line, like in the middle of May, what do you give a fuck, right? But then if you have the understanding, it's like, no, top 30 make it. I need to show up at every single event. I need to put in the work in the off season.
yes,
If you're going to toss that guaranteed money out there, and that's my goal, that's my objective, that's my incentive. Humans respond to incentives, right? That's our nature. It's like, if you're going to make it even more super exclusive and you just give us those 30 week in, week out of the playoffs, 3 weeks in a row, that's going to jump me up and that's going to give me a lot more excitement.
why don't they do that?
Because you're going to have the most dominant fucking golfers in the game, in the best form, the best guys. Like if John Rahm is going out against, I mean, I love the guy, but Kevin Kisner.
Let's do that.
What are we doing?
Why don't they do the top 36 and they play 3 weeks in a row,
Mhm.
and your aggregate score over 3 weeks is the champion?
Cuts
Yeah.
or no cuts? Because that might be an interesting.
No, because if you say you win one, come in 5th and come in 20th, you're
Mhm.
probably going to win because you won one.
Yeah, true. And you can restack the point system for the playoffs specifically as compared to
And
like
and we'll
regular
keep it
season.
sort of the way that it is.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed some dough if you make
Did
this.
we just
Did we?
solve golf?
We might have just solved it. I think I would love that.
Okay.
And they don't play the same course.
Jay Monahan, just in case you were wondering, that's going to be a $250,000 consultation fee.
So the top 125, keep your card. After 60, we'll give you all, 170, 60 to 30, 175K. Congratulations.
Yeah.
30 and on, you now have a 1 week off and you're planned for the next 3 weeks. And that is going to determine who wins this thing.
That's exciting. That is balls to the wall, top of the top, cream of the crop. Like that's the guys that are
Because
going out there
then
and
it
playing
also
shit.
matters who's playing well.
Mhm.
Because let's say, for example, Scotty didn't win those last 2 and he all of a sudden was so hot earlier in the year and then wasn't at the end. I'd be like, he's not going to win this fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas right now, it'd be very hard for him to not like shit the bed and not win this.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, he caught fire in April and May, And now he's
been okay. He top 20 a couple. Like he's obviously top 20, top 10, but he didn't.
He's still a
yeah.
top 10 golfer in
Yeah,
the world. But
100%.
but he's going to have such an advantage heading into Eastlake as long as he shows up over the course of the next 2 weeks.
Just has
Whereas
to
if you
basically
start from scratch.
You just got to come in the. He's got a top 40 this week, top 20 next week, and he's gonna be fine. He's he's like 1,500 FedEx points.
Yeah.
Which is like 2 small tournament wins over
Yeah.
people.
What's a win? 500 points?
I think it's like 800. Is it 800 or 500? I don't remember. Either way, maybe that's the new system. I don't know.
We solved it.
TPC Southwind, not a crazy course. It's in Memphis. It's going to be really fucking hot. A lot of water here, although not a. Did you did your little write up, or you want me to keep going? Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, you can take this. All right, go ahead.
Course report brought to you by Stevie Course Reports. TPC Southwind, Memphis, Tennessee, established in 1988, designed by Don Pritchard and Fuzzy Zoller was a consultant.
I remember Fuzzy. Yeah.
He was a consultant during the design process. And I thought that was a fun fact. And if you're not having fun in life, what's the point? They did have a big renovation back in 2004 to modernize and strengthen the golf course. Nobody has broken 20 under par for a tournament ever since.
Wow.
Since that 2004 reno. So that's something worth noting. Then they did another renovation back in 2020 just to fix and modernize some bunkers. And they did extend the par 4 17th hole, which the 17th, 18th are going to be very fucking exciting. That now plays as 505 with a split creek in the fairway. So that's interesting. Also, another fun fact here. Since 2003, Southwind on PGA Tour events has had 5,989 balls that have found the water. That is the most on the PGA Tour. The next 3 are Sawgrass, Muirfield, and PGA National. And those are all in the around 47 to 4,800, whereas Southwind is 59, almost 6,000 balls in the water. So this has the potential to be an absolute bloodbath with water balls.
Oh, Jesus, maybe I don't take Victor.
Siwoo Kim recorded historical a 13 on the Island Green, which is the 11th hole.
Yep.
Par 3.
It kind of looks just like 17 at Sawgrass, doesn't
Very
it?
similar.
Yeah.
It's a par 70, 7,244 yards. The rating is 75.6, and the slope is 149. Tough course.
Bless you, Jay.
Bless
that isn't. 70, almost a 76 rating. That's
pretty wild. Meyer Zoysia tees and fairways, and Champion Bermuda greens. For the greens, we'll get to it, but that doesn't really matter.
No.
Actually, yeah, that's the next point here that I'm making. The tour's lowest 3-putt percentage is at TPC Southwind at only 1.44%. The highest percentage of made putts from 5 to 10 feet at 60.5%, and 15 to 25 feet at 18.8%. Putting does not matter.
Okay, Tim, do you think this is, it doesn't matter if a guy's good at putting, or do you think this is, you can bet on a guy that putts really well and he'll dominate?
No, I think it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay.
But it never matters, right?
Yeah.
Just ask Rory at the Open.
Yep. Do you see, talk about reading the room. Golf Magazine put out a poll that was like, if you have a 10-footer to win a major, who do you want taking it of these 5? It was like Rory, Spieth, like Cam Smith. No, not Cam. It was like Rory, Spieth, Jason Day, and 2 more guys that just like weren't very good. And the comments were like, I would take 0 of these people. It was like Jordan Spieth is 140th in the world from 10 feet. Jason Day is about 101st. And then the reply to that was like, Jason Day would withdraw before he hit this putt. The other one was like Rory McIlroy. And then some guy goes, I'll bet on him if it's not Sunday. It was fucking unreal. I was like, guys, you just picked like 5 dudes who just wouldn't hit 10-foot putts. Anyways.
God. Par 5s and par 3s real quick. Only 2 par 5s on the course. There's the 3rd hole, 554 yards. The 16th is 530 yards. Both reachable, but both surrounded by both water and bunkers all over the place. So not exactly going to be the easiest holes if you are not accurate. That's going to be a key this week. Par 3s, the 4th, 196. The 8th, 178. The 11th is 162. That plays as an island green. And the 14th hole 239-yard par 3. The entire right-hand side is water. Do not hit a cut.
I was hoping that you were going to say one of these was like 120 because I love hitting darts.
I do love darts.
I want every course to have a short par 3.
Every course should have a par 3 under 130 yards and at least one drivable par 4. That would be my
Agreed.
metrics to set up a PGA Tour
I think
course.
the par 3s over 200 yards are stupid.
They're wicked stupid.
I don't get it.
Up to 215, I get it, because that shows your skill and your ball striking.
With like a 6 iron or 5 iron, sure.
Yep.
But 239, I don't want to.
Stupid.
What are you pulling a 5 wood?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Like what? Yeah.
That's
insane.
Whatever.
It's ridiculous. The average par 4 length on the course is only 449 yards. You factor in that the average guy in the tour, especially in the playoffs,
like
is going to be
300-ish.
going about 300. So you only got about 150 in on average. So, not terribly long course. Only 4 par 4s over 475.
Except for 18 is a monster though.
18. The hole is the most dramatic and creates an excellent finish. It's almost a 90-degree dog leg left. And that's over a massive water hazard. So if you lay up and you stay a little bit more to the right and you go shorter, bunkers come into play on the right. And if you go long and left, you got to clear a big old lake and a lot of water. Cam Smith came into this tournament, I believe it was last year. He was tied for the lead at 16 under. Doubles because he goes in the water, finishes T5.
Jesus.
This is a finishing hole.
All right. So
average score on the hole for what it's worth, 4.14. So it is above par.
all right.
And then quick weather report, Stevie Weather.
Oh yeah.
Clear, high 80s, winds 4 to 6 miles an hour.
So that's muggy.
It's going to be muggy as a motherfucker. Thursday is going to be the scoring round because it is going to be raining Tuesday and Wednesday. So you're going to have nice soft greens. You're going to see guys throwing absolute darts on Thursday is my personal prediction. That completes everything on my end. Gentlemen.
I don't have much. Get betting this week. I know I said it before the show. No one in this field is going to figure out their game right now. So I would urge you to take someone that's in good form.
Yep.
And that doesn't just mean that they played the Wyndham and they played the 3M. Like just the last times that they played, if they played okay, if they played decent, then I'd bet on them over somebody that like just got in that's playing like shit.
And even if you just focus on major form too, right?
Yeah.
It's like, who's the guys that can rise to the occasion?
Yeah. Anything, Tim?
No. That's good for me. I mean, this is the time of the year when you play like the studs. Like it's really not. I'm not digging at the bottom of the leaderboard for a long shot.
No way. Yeah, I'm with you. That's pretty much the formula here, guys. I know we say for the majors, don't overthink it, but it might even be more for the playoffs. Like these guys deserve to be here, so you may not even have a chance to overthink it.
Facts.
All right, for my jacket pick, my bet that's going to hit, a Cam Young top 20. He strikes the ball around as well as anybody right now on the planet. His question mark is usually, honestly, the putter, and then around the green game. But from whatever you can read about TPC Southwind, missing greens long or short, left or right, so as long as it's not water, you're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Greens will be receptive. I think it'll be fine for him. And with Survivor, I know there's a lot of water, and I have used a lot of I've maybe used everybody in the top 15 except for like Hideki, which I don't trust because he's in bad form. I'm going with Victor Hovland, and because he's the last like big gun that I haven't really used yet.
Ball striker.
Yeah, ball striker.
Doesn't have to be great around the greens.
No, he can just be okay. And then next week and the week after, you guys are going to see me scramble a little bit. So, and I love when they say the title of the movie in the movie. There you go.
Big brain.
Yeah.
Timmy, what do you got this week? Who's jumping off the page at you?
So my survivor's gonna be Can't Lay.
If I had him, I'd fucking play the shit out of him.
Yeah, again, just real straightforward there.
Yep.
My top 20 is gonna be Xander, who I think, in my mind, had the best season.
Ooh. All right.
And I think this course is gonna rely mainly on keeping it in play off the tee and then approach. And Xander is, I think, top 4 in this field over his last 24 rounds in approach. So that's my guy.
Yep.
I mean, kind of 2 of my guys.
Yep, I'm with you guys. Strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained on approach, definitely going to be the 2 most important. But I also think distance. And it's not necessarily just with the driver, but with this course, it seems like you really have to do a bunch of hazard management between all the water, and then they subsequently will throw in at different points throughout the fairway some pretty difficult bunkers, which have all been done and redone again multiple times over the course of those renovations I was talking about. So, I thankfully I haven't used the guy yet, and it seems like it's a good time to use him.
So he rips up this place.
Yeah, Justin Thomas as the survivor, and I'm going to even jacket him as a top 10. I'm feeling confident in my guy, JT. Do we want to go over any additional names that are jumping off the page at us, or do we want to just leave those on the cards and you guys have to just earn our bets by going to our Instagram and looking?
I'd say one caution that really jumped off the page was Sam Burns.
Yep.
He has good result here, second in his only start, but he cannot find the fairway right now off the tee, and with the penalty strokes, I think he's in for a tough week. I think Sam Burns is in for a tough playoffs.
I think so too. I also think probably flying under the radar, even though he really shouldn't be, is John Rahm.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can be absolutely fine here because he's one of the better drivers on the planet. As long as he can put that ball around there and play, he'll be fine.
And it's not a putting contest.
Which he hates.
Yep.
I'm also like, think about Steady Eddie, like Homa. Homa will be fine here.
Mm-hmm.
Sung Jae is in great form. I would look at him and I would look at Tony. I know you don't want to bet on the guys that just won, but like, kind of at this time of the year, maybe that's okay.
Also, Hideki Matsuyama looks completely lost.
Yeah, I will not. He's 11th in the FedEx. So like, I'm not even going to touch him. I think he's very. That success was early on, and I'm worried.
Yeah, just seems like he's afraid to pull the trigger. Right, he can't commit to anything right now.
Yeah.
I'll just give one name. Seems like a long shot, but between distance and an approach, I feel like this guy has an opportunity. Scott Stallings plus 330 on a top 20.
Dude, I love him.
That's decent return for a decent shot.
Yeah.
So that's obviously we'll put out the full cards. You guys have to go to our social media at
Scramble Pod.
Scramble Pod?
Yep, the Scramble Pod, all one word. You know where to find it. We all repost it. Yeah, guys, it's the beginning of the playoffs. Next week will be a little bit more exciting.
Playoffs?
The following will be a little bit more exciting than that. And then we got the President's Cup. We're wrapping up season 2 of this motherfucker. So with that, I don't have much else. Anybody?
I'm good.
Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci, welcome back to the Bruins. We love you.
All right, and football's around the corner. We will talk to you guys next week. Have a good time. Go out, play some golf this week. See you guys.
Hey, long days at work, I grab my shirt, my bag. We sent out the front line. Frustrations in my head just play so wet, but it's no one's fault but mine. Long drive home, here we go. I play Scramble Pod through the radio. Cold bears with the boys, hello. Those links are my only home.